Yeah. And brothers, too.
Welcome back to Penalty Box here to ESPN 102.5 The Game. Justin Bradford, Glenn Blackwell, producer Kenny. Thank you, Kenny. Appreciate you, bud.
You know it.
Our family.
Yes.
For sure.
Absolutely.
All day.
All right, folks. It's been 10 years that we've been at this on 102.5 The Game, and it's been a decade. And to dedicate a decade to anything that, whether it's a hobby or it's something you're passionate about, to a job, even to a person, it's a long time. And we've accomplished so much here, just personally and professionally, and what we feel like we've been able to do here to think back to 2012 with Big Ben and then adding Glenn in, and then adding people like Brittany and Michael and so many other folks along the way to where we start off on Blog Talk Radio, doing live shows late at night on our phones with my phone rested on my shoulder with a computer in my lap, talking with Ben and doing a radio show where we had Kevin Weeks join us and say, hey, can you do this? And booking it through his website on Blog Talk Radio and interviewing Kevin Weeks on there, to getting support from Andy Maloney to help us get a better time slot on Blog Talk Radio, to talking with 102.5 The Game and Jeremy Benefield, who was a program director at the time, and giving us the opportunity to come in and record live on Blog Talk Radio at 9 o'clock at night and then be re-aired at midnight on 102.5. We'd stay up late. And at midnight, like, oh, we're on the air. This is great. Now to bed. Because it was midnight, but it was great to give third shift people some actual local programming to listen to. And growing from there and being on the air during a lockout. Mm-hmm. And that's how we got our start, was you have to talk about hockey when professional hockey's not being played for 3 months. And how that right off the bat, created our mission statement, Glenn, of what we were going to do and how we were going to be different and what was important to us, which was we're going to grow the sport. We're going to make people better fans of the sport, make people appreciate the sport overall, because it's not just going to be about the Predators. It's going to be about junior hockey, minor league hockey, women's hockey, high school hockey, everything possible, sled hockey, anything dealing with hockey, you name it, we want to be a part of it, because we thought that people deserve to have the support from fans, and people needed to know how much the sport meant to us. And it's been 10 years. And I can't thank the people at 102.5 The Game enough, whether it's Shooter, Jeremy Benefield, to Ryan Porth and what he did for us, and then now Chase McCabe and his support. Chase McCabe, the program director here, our first producer
yep.
as well. And now we've had so many great producers come through. I know Max has produced us. Kenny's been with us. Jared Cassidy, and so many more. And we've had our run. And at the end of this season, whenever the Preds are done with the playoffs, whether that's a first round or the Stanley Cup final, we're going to be done. And I'm going to retire from live radio and from the Preds press box. And not going anywhere in terms of disappearing on y'all. Penalty Box Radio still exists as a website. We have so many people that love to contribute there, whether it's Sam having a podcast or Boyd with his writing, Abigail doing stuff as well, and continuing to build her up. But we are in such a good place because of you all, because of the support, and because of the fantastic people we brought along the way that are in great spots in their careers, whether it's Cutler Klein that started off writing for us and now works for Nashville SC in social media, or Michael Gallagher, who wrote with us as well, is in sports with the Nashville Post, or Stephen Ellis, who wrote Prospect Reports and now is big time in terms of writing in Canada and what he's been able to do. And Abigail Martin, who's getting ready to graduate and is definitely going to have a job. Cameron Martz, who has accepted a director of marketing position with the minor league baseball team in Jackson. Sam, who's continued to do so much great work too. Peyton and what he's done. Jonah, who's getting up, who's an upperclassman at Arkansas. Danielle doing so much great work too. So many people have done great work. Jack Woods, and he done play-by-play, and he's off to a comedy career where he's studying. We're in a good place because all the people that we've mentored are in good places. We're not abandoning anybody. and we feel it's time because my new job, and this is not a slight at anything, I get to get my fulfillment in sports through a nonprofit. And I'm going to be at Predators games. I'm going to be at Titans games. I'm going to be at SC games. I'm going to be at all these places and be around and have different projects to work on with Jeremy K. Gover and Jim Chandler as well, names that I know you all recognize, and kind of pivoting and doing some things that I'm passionate about. But we've accomplished so much, Glynne.
We have, and I promise by our last episode, I'll be more composed because I sat here the whole time and I cried because when this started, like, if for anybody that's been here for the decade, I used to just come on as a guest just to give a girl's perspective. I don't know if I can get through this, but Justin and Ben believed in me enough to give me my own segment, which was the dish. So I come on, I come on every episode. I would give my dish, but then they quickly realized that I had a lot more to say, and so they made that space for me. And it's just been, like you said, Justin, it's been a beautiful run to look back on everything that we've done. It's huge. We've impacted lives, shifted lives, and shifted our own lives. And there always just comes a time when, you can do something, you can commit to something for 10 years. Doesn't mean that you will be doing it for the next 50. Every season comes to an end in one way or the other. And honestly, I'm very grateful that we both came to this place in our life at the same time.
Together.
Because, for those who, I don't even know if I've officially announced it on Instagram, but I am licensed in real estate now, and that is incredible that I've switched careers after losing my job in the event industry in 2020. I had to reevaluate a lot of things, and that job is very, very demanding of my time, and it's already this season a few times at the drop of a hat at 6:30 p.m. I could need to be in contract negotiations or whatever the case may be, and it's not fair for me to just possibly just leave you high and dry, but we both came to this place at the same time, which I think is just very indicative of it is the right time, and like you said, it's not abandoning anything. It's not abandoning the love for the sport, and it's not that we won't get together and randomly throw a podcast episode
Absolutely.
together, just something, but it is time to step away from the every single week, the live aspect of the radio show, you in media, everything eventually comes to an end. And I think the most important thing is that we can look back and be so proud.
100%. And I'm so proud of so many people that have come through, and proud of our listeners for all the support they've given us, whether it's through giving us Twitter questions and topics or interacting with us. And that's just been huge. Having fun with us and asking us questions that make us think and have fun too. It's not always serious hockey talk. It's
about connecting with people in the community.
Right.
That's what we've always appreciated about the city, the hockey community, is it's about people connecting. And we all love the same thing, but it's not always just about hockey. You can have fun with it, but we're all going after the same thing. We want more hockey here. We want to enjoy Nashville Predator success. So we're all here for the same reason. And so I think it's just been incredible, the people that we've met along the way. Just being a part of that community is something that I will literally, for the rest of my life, I'm going to value that so much. And this was such a huge part of that.
Absolutely. And we're not done yet.
We're not.
Finishing the season off, we want to make this announcement so what the future plans are. So it could be, 2 weeks from now, 3 weeks from now, or it could be 2 months from now as well. One can hope. So we appreciate you sticking with us. Big thanks to Sam for coming in tonight as well, just to share his experience too. Again, we'll have a few more shows left. We'll make sure we'll have special guests lined up as well as we close out this chapter of our lives. And we just cannot thank you all enough for your support. yeah, so we will talk to you soon. We'll talk to you next week. As soon as the playoff schedule comes out, we'll adjust if there's a game on a Wednesday night. We'll be with you on a Tuesday or Thursday. I promise you that. Big thanks to Kenny Adams for taking care of us as always and providing us so much fun music whenever he's with us. And thanks to Sam. And for Glenn Blackley, this is Justin Bradford. Thank you so much for listening to Penalty Box Radio here on ESPN 102.5 The Game.